Hello there, wrestling fans. Wait, hold on. Boom. Wait, hold on. Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to the internationally known Dudes of Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and man, wrestling fans, you are in for a treat. We have a lady that is in the wrestling community, and she's doing really awesome things right now. Introduce yourself to my audience.
Hi, I'm Teresa. Also known
Awesome.
as the villain, Teresa.
What made you get into the wrestling business?
Well, I always kind of wanted to dabble in wrestling, but I just never thought I could for multiple reasons. But I guess to shorten it, during the pandemic, I'm a full-time professional tattooer. That's my bread and butter. I've been doing that for 13 years now. During the pandemic, I obviously couldn't work, and where I lived in Toronto, we were locked down for close to a year. It was about 10 months I was out of work. So during this time, all I did was watch wrestling. I hung out with a friend. I was bunking basically with a homie who also was just, we're both kids that grew up with wrestling. We love wrestling. We're like, let's just watch some old shit. Let's revisit some old shit. And it just became like such an obsession that it was like all I had time to do was watch and study wrestling. So it was around that time where myself, and I'm sure a lot of other people felt the same way, where it's like, if I'm going to do something, it's now or never, because we just lost 2 years of our lives where we didn't accomplish anything. And it kind of made you really realize how short life is, and time just flies by without you realizing it. When you're busy doing what you do, like you lose your sense of time and reality. And I just kind of realized, like, yeah, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this now. So as soon as everything opened up, I emailed the closest training facility near me, and I did that. Made that happen.
So, who trained you? If you want to talk about that tonight.
Well, I'm still trained, but I currently train at Lionsgate Dojo. It's in Vancouver, BC, and my main trainers are Nicole Matthews and Artemis Spencer, as well. There's some other trainers there too. Tony Baroni is one of my trainers as well.
Okay. So, what kind of advice have you got from each of your coaches that you tossed into your wrestling style?
Oh my God. Each of my trainers have completely different style of wrestling. Nicole's super technical wrestler. Artie does the lucha. Well, he does everything, but yeah, he's got like a jiu-jitsu background. Crazy lucha wrestler. Tony, incredible character work, brawler, Cat Power, another one of my trainers. She's also like just incredible character in the ring. So everyone has a lot to show me, like there's a little bit of everything from each of my trainers, which I'm very lucky to have. A lot of people don't have that. So yeah, it's great having all of those visions behind me.
Awesome. So what were you thinking the first time you walked through the doors for your training? Like, what were you thinking the first time you did it?
Well, my lifestyle used to be very different before wrestling. Tattooer, partier, I start at noon every day, go to bed real late and wake up real late. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like I didn't have a crazy workout schedule or regime at all, or great eating. I was just living that tattooer kind of lifestyle. And basically, I had to make some huge changes to start wrestling. Before you train as a wrestler, you have to try out. So it's not like they'll take anyone off the street to wrestle at their training facilities. So basically, what I did was start personal training first for about a solid year of hardcore personal training at the gym every day, getting in shape, getting my cardio up, getting my strength up. I was skinny, I was out of shape. My cardio was horrible before that. And especially with the pandemic, I did as best I can to stay in shape during the pandemic, but I think all of us kind of really, lost that. Like, definitely a lot of us didn't have good cardio during the pandemic. Maybe some of us
Party
didn't.
mix was my best friend in a can of Coke.
Right. So I got myself in good shape, mentally as well. I got my nutrition in order and got my shit together. And then I tried out, and it was fucking incredibly hard. I would think it was like 3 hours of just straight cardio, bumping and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was scary. It was intimidating, and it was really difficult. But I luckily had spent some time focusing on my body and getting myself into shape enough to do the tryout.
So let's flash forward a little further in your career. Like, what were you thinking the first time you went through the curtain for your first match?
Oh God, I was so nervous. I've never been more nervous for anything in my life. It's almost like like a vortex of like you don't even know where you are. You don't. It's like you black out, and then you're done the match, and you're like, what did I even just do? Like, holy shit! Like, that was crazy. I definitely felt like that. I felt just incredibly insecure and hated everything I did, and I think that's pretty normal. I think a lot of new people, especially, I mean, even now, I'm still under 20 matches, and I'm still kick myself in the ass, after every match. So yeah, it's nerve wracking and it's scary for sure.
So what went into your character's gimmick with the makeup and stuff like that?
So there's a few inspirations. Visually, I love a wrestler named Pagano. He's a Mexican wrestler, lucha wrestler. Do you know him? He does a lot of
Sounds the
he
name
does a lot
sounds
of like,
familiar. Yeah.
hardcore deathmatch stuff as well. He's just like a madman-y look. I think he just looks so freaking cool. So a lot of my look is kind of inspired by him. Um, I guess like I'm really inspired by Terminator 2, the movie.
Mm.
I don't know if my look specifically is inspired, but definitely my attitude and my vision, I guess, is very Sarah Connor, Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know where exactly it came from. I just really wanted to like show this character that's kind of like super vulnerable and kind of crazy, but also like maybe people could find something in common with me, like she's kind of cute, kind of crazy. I don't know, a little volatile.
Yeah. Are there any male or female wrestlers that you've been like dying to work with that you haven't had a chance to do work with yet?
um, there's definitely, yeah. Casey Catal, I think her other name is. She is amazing deathmatch wrestler. I was really drawn to deathmatch when I first started training. I thought that's what I solely wanted to do was deathmatch wrestling, but I kind of, now that I like have learned a lot more about wrestling and other things you can do in wrestling, it's not really exactly the path that I'm gonna go down. Maybe a dabble. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, she's a deathmatch wrestler. I would love to have a deathmatch with her. That's a goal and a dream of mine, actually. It has been for a long time. I mean, if who else? Fuck. I mean, Masha Slamovich would be
Ooh,
somebody I would
that'd be
love
a
to
good
wrestle.
match. You
And
that'd be good.
I've always liked her. I've been watching her for years now. Actually, I'm hoping to get a match against my trainer Nicole Matthews because she's one of my favorite wrestlers and she's incredible, and I would love to get in the ring with her, and I'm sure I will soon. As
When
for
you see your coach, definitely give her a heads up about dudes at ringside because we love it. I love interviewing everybody, trainers, coaches, everybody.
oh yeah,
It's,
well
it's
she's been wrestling forever. She was on Shimmer,
oh,
and
wow,
she
cool.
she's great. And who else? Allie Catch. I love her work. I think she's awesome. Steph Delander. Just like fun, big, energy
Mhm.
characters. That's kind of more my forte.
Is there like a limit to your death match? Do you like? Is there certain things you won't use and or weapon you won't when you're game planning with thinking on the weapons you want to use in the ring? Are there any weapons that you won't use and or
Not
that you
really.
use on?
I think I'm down for anything weapon wise. There are certain bumps I wouldn't take, I think. But when it comes to weapons and stuff, I'm not really that doesn't really bother me. I've done light tubes. I've never done panes of glass. I've done the skewers, but I've never done gusset plates or anything like that. But I would do all that shit for sure in a
Awesome.
heartbeat. I think it's more like when you see these death matches where there's like over 50 tubes, there's like hundreds of tubes involved. I'm like, oh, a little suspicious of that. It seems like a lot of glass, but otherwise I think I could handle it.
There's another wrestler that you should put on your list. He's from England. His name is Tomby.
Okay. Where
Yeah.
do you know who does he wrestle with or for?
He wrestles in a lot of places. He wrestles in like deathmatch wrestlers in England. I forgot the name of the promotion. He's also another tattoo artist. So
Oh, crazy.
yeah, that's why I
Wow.
learned it because people were telling me about him. He wrestles in a promotion called Coventry Pro in England,
Oh, okay.
and he's their deathmatch guy. Their female wrestler. Her name is Alfie.
Okay.
You and Alfie would be an absolute throwdown. Like Alfie is their female wrestler in Coventry that does hardcore. So like when the girly girls are like, I want to do a hardcore match, they're like, Alfie, show this girl why she doesn't need to do hardcore wrestling.
Oh, really? That's wild. Because
Yeah,
I know
they'll
a
like
lot of.
she'll tell the girls that want to do it. They're the cutesy girls that want to do. I want to do hardcore, and they're like Alfie, and she'll take them in and be like, I'm gonna show you how to take a bump. I'm gonna do a bump with you and hit you with a chair. And if you don't like it, you're not doing hardcore matches. She's
Oh,
that kind
wow.
of, yeah. She will tell them, nope, nope,
Actually,
nope.
that's one thing I won't do is, I mean, I don't know. It depends. People are weird with the chair shots to the head in deathmatch. Like a lot of them like still do that, and I think it's fucking stupid. But that's just
Yeah.
me coming from a place of concussion that I just received recently.
Yeah, it's difficult because when you have a concussion, it's hard to like do much. Because, like, what is the longest you've ever had a concussion? Is
This
it
is
like,
my. I just received my first concussion last Saturday. I've had a bazillion micro concussions. I'm sure. Like I've seen, but I've seen all the symptoms of micro and minor concussions. But I was like knocked out. So
oh, gee, that's
there's
scary for you
there's
guys?
there's
Because, like,
there's many levels of concussion. Some are worse than others, and the more you have, the longer you have to rest before you get back to the ring. So I don't know. I'm just navigating this for the first time, so I'm not really sure how to figure it out. But I'm doing okay for sure. Let me just close my door because the traffic is so loud right now.
oh, gee. She'll be right back, fans. And we have quite a few episodes of Dudes at Ringside coming up with Spooky Wrestling Month, so stay tuned.
Okay,
Oh, here
be
we
good.
go. Welcome. So with it being Spooky Wrestling Month, what is your top 5 all-time favorite horror movies?
Oh boy. Horror movies. God, I love so many horror movies.
You
So I
make it
have
a top
like
9. We can go top 9 if you want to.
okay, they're not going to be in order, but for classic ones, I love the Hellraiser movies. The original I Spit on Your Grave
Mm.
is cool. Do. I love Nightmare on Elm Street, the third one, the Dream Warriors.
Mm.
Um, I love. There's this one. I think it's called Chained.
Chains or change?
Chained.
Chained. Okay, chained.
Yeah. It's fuck, my memory is so bad right now.
Oh no.
uh, um, there is there's a bunch of those like what's her name again? Fuck. I wish my brain was like way better right now, but it's
Oh
terrible.
no. Oh no, I got you in the middle of concussion and you can't forget any, you can't remember anything. No.
It's okay, the guy that did Twin Peaks. What's his name again?
I can't think of his name. I can
Okay,
see his
anyways,
face.
his daughter did a bunch of really crazy, almost not borderline snuff film,
Oh
like
jeez.
really fucking gnarly horror movies, and those are really good. But yeah, I like really, really intense movies, really gross horror movies.
It's okay.
I just
There's
saw
one I saw. I'm sorry.
I just saw one the other day that was it was okay. It was about like these guys on like a pirate ship, and then like the devil is like on the ship. Did you see this one?
No, I'm not, I've never seen that one.
I just watched it the other day. It was really, really corny. I heard a lot of really good stuff about it, but it was really corny. I'm not into ghost horror. I find that pretty corny as
13
well.
Ghosts, you didn't like that one when it came out?
No, I don't know what it is. They're all the exact same to me. I'm just not a
Mm.
fan of them.
There's one I
Um,
saw that I don't know if you ever seen, has like different mirrors. If the people look in the mirror, they see like things that happen to the people in the house. There
oh,
was
that's
one that
cool.
it was, I can't think of the name, but I saw it at my sister's wife's house during a little family outing, and the person got like nail gunned in the back, and they were supposed to live, and there was the last person in the house, and they died, and they were still alive. The whole end of the movie was like really tragic. I was like, oh god,
Oh, wow. Brutal.
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Oops, shit. Sorry, my phone's playing something weird. Yeah, I wish I could think of better movies right now. Sorry.
It's okay. You watching any movies on Netflix or like anything like that?
I don't watch a lot. I watch wrestling, and I watch like I'll find a series that is incredible, and then I'll probably watch that a couple times.
You
Like
gonna
I
watch?
don't
You gonna watch the
I
wrestling?
I mostly watch wrestling. I mean that, and like I like documentaries, like crime, true crime stuff, documentaries about war and stuff. like I like documentaries mostly,
Documentaries are cool.
or I just revisit like shit I've already watched that I like. Like I'm really weird that way. I don't really like to explore too much of like what's new. Yeah.
There's a series on Netflix with the OVW. Haven't started watching that yet?
Oh, the wrestlers?
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched it. I'm not a fan.
you think it was not that cool?
From a wrestler's point of view, I find it weird because it's like it's just like a lot of them act like really unprofessional, and
Mm.
like I think from a fan's point of view it might be cool, but as like from a worker's point of view, I think it's like yikes. Like a lot of things I'm like, ooh, like really you're saying that? You're doing that right now? Like that's weird. Also I heard there's like a couple people wrestlers on the show that are just like they're just I don't know.
Mm.
They're not that great. So it's kind
So
of weird that they
yeah,
got it. I just think it's a weird vibe that they got a show. I know a lot of like fans and shit like the show, but I have not. I've spoken to a couple wrestlers about it, and I haven't met a wrestler that enjoys the show. That's for sure.
mm.
Yeah, I mean, I love Al Snow. He's
I
cool.
love Al Stone. Former dudes at ringside guest for right before the day before Thanksgiving. I
Oh,
interviewed him like 2 years ago, and he was the coolest fucking guy ever. He was making cheeseburger stuffing for
oh,
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
damn,
his
that's
own
wild.
like family recipe. He was like, guys, we'll do the interview quick, and I don't want to burn my cheeseburger stuffing. I was like, I'm like, I'm the one that emailed them to get him. I'm like, can you, at the end of the interview, Alex, do you think you could send me your recipe? Yeah, I'll send it to you. Never
Oh,
got
that's
it.
cute. That's so
And
nice.
I never got the recipe.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Damn.
I'm sad. But yeah, so like what is your normal like when you're like the week of a wrestling show? Like what is your normal schedule like?
It doesn't really change. It's kind of the last couple years I've pretty much been doing the same thing every day. So since I've been wrestling professionally, I mean I was managing before, but now that I'm working, I'm pretty much booked most weekends. So my week is usually I work a couple days a week. I don't work every day. I actually have a lot of time for the gym and training and stuff, which is really nice. I kind of make my own hours at work and pick and choose what I do. So that's fantastic. So, I usually eat a whole bunch, go to the gym, and then go to training. And then on a Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, I'm wrestling. Usually, not a ton in Vancouver where I live, but a lot in Portland and Seattle, Tacoma, Eugene. I got stuff going on out east in Toronto, Alberta. Yeah.
Awesome.
So just basically training and chilling on during the week, and then wrestling on the weekends. Pretty boring.
No, wrestling, it's like instead of pirate's life, it's a wrestler's life for you. Are like
Yeah.
so. Do you have any crazy stories from like during the like after after a match or before a match before you're leading to the show and anything like that?
I mean, not really. Like crazy stories. I wish I had, I don't know, more complicated, crazy situations, but it's, plan your match, you do your match, and that's pretty much it.
Mm.
I mean, other than receiving a concussion the other weekend, that's probably the craziest thing that's ever happened. A
Do
couple
you want to talk
hardcore
about how you got the
matches.
concussion, or you don't want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, I don't care. I was managing for a tag team called State of Emergency, and they've been having a feud for the last 6 months or so. I was basically the reason for the feud. I came in between the tag partners and caused some drama. So they had their final blow off last Saturday for NEW Nation Extreme Wrestling, and they had like a hardcore match. It was pretty fucking bloody. I got involved. I stepped in, and I took a power bomb from Wolf, one of the wrestlers, and it was aggressive, to say the least.
Oh,
But yeah,
jeez.
it was just like there was in the moment. It was like they were basically having a death match. Like the dude, like they were both freaking gushing and like doing some pretty crazy spots. So when I ran in there, he just grabbed me and power bombed the shit out of me. And it is what it is. Power bombs are probably the leading move for concussion. So
Yeah.
it's not uncommon to get a concussion from a power bomb if you're not protecting your head properly.
Yeah, it's like I always wondered what the Wu-Tang Clan was saying when they said "protect your neck." I
Yeah,
think they were talking about wrestling. Seriously, I think they're talking about wrestling. That's why that song's in the game in the WWE
yeah.
2K23 game. I think
Oh,
that's why.
really?
Protect
That
your
makes
neck.
sense. That makes
Maybe he
sense.
was talking
It's
about
very
something
cute.
else, but wrestlers don't protect your neck. Yeah. Is what is your favorite food?
Ooh, I eat like shit. I'm very skinny naturally, and it's a burden, but also a blessing. So, I can eat a lot of crazy stuff and not gain any weight, but for bodybuilding purposes, it sucks because I takes me forever to gain muscle. So I eat a lot of pasta. I love lasagna. I love deep and delicious cake. I love anything with lots of cheese on it. I love Mexican food, quesadillas up the wazoo. Yeah, I love that shit. I love food.
Awesome. We
I
can
eat a
hang
lot.
out. Then I love food. I have quite a few nice Italian restaurants by me near, like, New Jersey, New York area, and stuff like that. And there's
Oh
some like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
like three different good Mexican restaurants that are near my one in two of them are New Jersey, and there's like three by me and where I live in my town. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Then you gotta
That,
go. Then there's Taco Bell. So
oh god, yeah, Taco Bell. I'd still eat that though. Still eat my
yeah,
fair share of Taco Bell on the road.
I'll eat a suitcase of those tacos any day.
Yeah,
Like,
they're pretty gross, but a taco's a taco at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
yeah, Taco Day keeps the doctor. No, to keeps the doctor there.
Probably.
So yeah. In closing, if any of my fans would like to pick up any of your merch or stickers or anything, where can they find it?
I do have a website. It's just tearsup.com. Otherwise, I'm kind of like low on merch right now. Um, but I do need to like get some more shirts and stuff printed. So I'm really up, like I'm constantly updating and I'm always online and always on my social media plugging away. So as soon as I have new shirts come in, I will be posting about it for sure. I just keep close to my Instagram for all that kind of stuff. Like I do have 8x10s on my website. I have a couple stickers. I'm usually so good at merch. Like I'm a merch girl, but I've been really out of merch lately. So, and I have to thank fans for that though, because I had a run of t-shirts made and they sold within like 2 weeks, all of them. So I was like, what the fuck? I
Yeah, they
should
like
order
you.
more. So yeah, I think next time I do a batch of t-shirts and stuff, I'm gonna just get a whole fuckload and get a couple designs out, and yeah, I will get
Yeah.
on that. But for now, terrorsup.com, I have some 8x10s, and I answer my DMs. So if fans want to like hit me up and request a specific print or 8x10 or whatever, then I can definitely get that sent to them. I've done it many times before, so I don't mind doing that.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Um, my last question for you: if there was any male or female that really wanted to get in the wrestling business as a manager or a wrestler, what kind of advice would you give them?
Um, Patience. Have patience with yourself, have patience with those you're working with and your trainers. Take everything slow, breathe, don't rush anything. If you're not ready for it, don't do it. That was something that I feel like I made that mistake a little bit. I was just like, okay, I got to get good really fast. I got to get this really fast. No, just let it happen organically. It's going to happen the way it's going to happen. Work as hard as you physically can. You got to put everything into it. You know, your time, your soul, everything. It's a big job to be successful in this industry. Not speaking from someone with great success, because I just started and I have no success yet. But I mean, just study people that you look up to. What did they do? You know, how did they get to where they are? It's all in your attitude, respect, shake hands, make connections. You know, it's a full-time job, honestly. So
Totally. Even on my end of the podcasting, I have to connect, check if everybody's okay. I have to be like the dad from Full House. Be like, "You good? Am I still hanging out tonight? Want to talk to me?" And then I'm sitting there in the studio. What do you mean? I'm sitting here staring at my laptop, sitting in my laptop for nothing. Oh, jeez. Well, I'm Joe Panther the third, and
Tara's up.
we will catch you. Stay like that, and we will catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.